perfect death here. I appear to have made a submarine back in From the Depths, and I think what happened was I recently added some of these hydrofoils, and that's set up to establish an angle so that it'll try to maintain level with the waterline a little better. But the problem with the current setup is that if it goes in reverse, it sinks itself underwater. So it's kind of just rocking back and forth and just sort of keeping itself barely afloat. Except from like the little conning tower here. Because it actually works quite well if it's moving forwards. So let's go, and I'll just spawn in a good old marauder. So once he starts going, there we go. He's coming back up out of the water. Now, currently this ship is pretty much feature complete. I don't really need to add anything else, but the only thing it really needs now is just tweaking. It's got a couple of different missiles, some strong ones, but that are slow but longer range. These guys right here. And then I've got some faster, more maneuverable short-range missiles. And then some decoy systems just in case the enemy fires missiles at me. Oh, and there we go. Kills it much faster now that it's got some missiles on it. So the missiles are right in here. Got two different sets. The fast ones here, and then the slower ones here. I added the I added the bulge onto it, so it's a little wider, has a little more flotation because of that, and torpedo protection. And there's some of the this is the torpedo decoy, basically. It just creates a sonar signature for torpedoes, and it's designed to go at enemy craft. And then it's got some other countermeasures in the back here. And then I got rid of the mechanical to like the steam engine thing that generated engine power. Got rid of that and put myself some two fairly sized fuel engines. So this ship, like these engines don't need to have exposure. It just looks cool to have the radiators pointing up and have some ventilation going to them. Doesn't actually matter for it. I also installed some smoke generators to make it look like it's running. And it goes pretty fast. I also made things look a little better. You can install these little wireless cameras onto it. And I've also installed laser anti-munition defenses on it. But if I go on to my character here, my little command bunker inside, I actually have those cameras that I can actually see out of. So if I switch to turn on my guns, you can actually see it updates my guns in real time. And I can see out these little turret things. Pretty fancy. This was what the little message was about. I wonder if it actually cares if the vehicle controller is backwards or not. Left, right. No, it doesn't seem to care. And now we go underwater again, because I am coming to a stop. So once it wants to stop, it's probably going to suck itself back down. So one thing that I could probably do to fix that would be, I think I could do it with a PID. Let's see. Hydrofoil angle control, altitude above sea level, I think, are the waves. Yeah, let's go waves. And then, where I have those other ones here. These ones. I'll get rid of them. These were the control blocks for it. So now... come on. Where are they? If I look at my hydrofoils, they might do a better job keeping me afloat when I'm not moving. Because now they have the ability to determine exactly what kind of angle they want, and so it's not so extreme. Either way, it does sink quite a bit when it's not moving much, which I guess is okay. So at least right now it's not a submarine anymore. It's at least it's partially a submarine. Depends on the waves. Now, I do want to test out these decoys. So if I wonder what's a good thing for this. I wonder if they say... Because I can't remember which are good for what. Maybe. So rapid fire guns. I wonder if I can have something that's a... I know for sure if I go to airships, there's a pretty early one that you fight when it's a steamwork. So let's see. He drops torpedoes, basically. Maybe. I think I might have just killed him too fast, though. There's some bombs of his. I think these are torpedoes? We'll see. My decoy fires their torpedoes. They might just be magnets. I think that they are just magnetic mines. What would be a... I think I'll... First of all, I'll just save just before I spawn something too strong. Let's try the Prowler. I think he's all big guns, though. I think he doesn't have any missiles. Yeah, he doesn't have missiles on him. Oh, he does. Oh, there's my decoy. I do have decoys, but I don't think that was the... That wasn't the radar decoy, that was the heat-seeking decoy. Zap, zap, ooh. Go lambs. My lambs just shot down his cannon rounds. It's a bit of a strong bursty lambs that burns its energy very quickly, but it hits really hard. Let's actually, I wonder if I can open, close. Let's see if I can manually fire. Alright, so I've got the decoys there. Oh. Ah, that's why. It's a very, very short cable. I think I have to adjust the cable length. Let's go 150 as a test. That's okay. Splash, splash, splash. Loud noises. Yeah, let's try a 200 cable length. I think I might just want it 150 cable length. Yeah, the idea behind this is that it will hold itself up in the air for a while. And it acts like a radar signature, so that hopefully what'll happen is radar-guided weapons will, instead of going after me, it'll see this radar buoy hanging out behind me, and then it'll go after that instead. You see the flare up there? That's a big hot flare. It goes pretty high up. And then he drops way back down. And then the other one is the torpedo one here. The torpedo one is designed just to try and distract sonar-guided torpedoes. So, I think so far that's doing okay. And I can go back inside. That's the one problem that I've had with this, is that I tend to get launched up through the floor with it.
Listening.
I can just teleport to the chair. There we go. I'm back. Let's see if I can handle a bigger, tougher... Actually, I'll save. Save. I made those adjustments to the missile. Yeah, because he was an 8,000 cost. How much do you cost? You are almost 150 material cost. Okay. That would definitely explain why I murdered the Prowler. So let's go up to something that is just a little more expensive, because, yeah, that's... Let's try a Plunderer. And there's his cannon rounds. Well, I shot down at least half of them. See, he has his own flares, but I'm not using heat-seeking weapons. I've disabled his front gun, so now... Let's get the sound down a bit. And shot most of his projectiles out. Yeah, he's mostly disabled now. I think he's still got his front guns working. He hasn't turned his ship broadside. He's trying to close too much. Oh, there we go. There we go. So that's my decoy, right? They're chasing after my decoy. That's what I wanted to see. Though I kind of wanted the decoy torpedo to go after him, but I don't think it's able to turn hard enough to actually go that way when it drops that direction. Yeah, he's falling apart. He's in pieces. This isn't a hard-hitting ship, so I can't really hit any of his critical internals because he's actually got pretty good armor on some of those hiding in here somewhere. I've been disabling his stuff, but yeah, there's a lot of, let's see, I think, yeah, there's some very explosive stuff back there that just popped. There we go, now he's dead. Yeah, 2 damaged. His AI core is inside of there, I think, somewhere in there. So, this ship has some... Oh, I took some torpedo hits by the looks of it. Yeah, took some torpedo hits on the belt. And in the rear area. It's pretty okay. So the ship... The guns on it, they're only 128mm gauge. So they don't quite hit that hard. I don't really... these missiles definitely do most of the damage, I feel. These guns are pretty useful at facing off against some, let's see, planes like this, the Flying Squirrel, Legendary Troll, little aircraft. Oop, ah. Oop, there we go. Wrong button. So this little guy... He's notorious for being really hard to hit. I didn't get to show him off because I got stuck there. Let's just spawn another one. There we go. So he, as you can see, he has this randomized sort of flight pattern, but these guns fire very fast, and they tend to be pretty good multi-purpose AA and anti-ship guns, but they really have a hard time against armor. Even though some of the ammunition is heat ammo, it's not a very large caliber heat round, so I wouldn't really rely too much on it for armor penetration. This ship is, in a sense, I kind of designed it around being like a fleet support style ship, so I think it serves its purpose in that regard. I definitely would need to design a ship with, you know, higher damage weapons and whatnot, so it's at a pretty good spot. If I were to work on it more, it would mostly be for the aesthetics of it, make it look nicer, because right now it is, you know, very much just a rough draft. Well, the design is finished, but the appearance, it can use some work. Like I said, it is feature complete, I feel. And except for the underwater submarine mode that it does when it stops moving. I think, though, I will cover the laser munition defense, because that's actually a pretty neat thing to cover. So you have these little laser nodes, and then in here I actually have the laser beam bounce. It goes through here, because the laser beam can actually go through blocks, and then it goes here, turns this direction, goes all the way through here, where it then pipes its way back down. So this is right about where the engine room starts, and as you can see right there's where the engine is. And so then along the keel I have this laser cavity, and so the laser cavity stores beam energy, and then these laser pumps put energy into the cavity. They turn engine power into beam energy. And so inside of here, these are these T-shaped ones. You actually have some single ones like this, but the cavity that I used is a one-directional cavity. There's this cavity. This cavity can have pumps attached to all 4 sides. This is just one side, but this one has 1,000 storage capacity. This is only 250. So the idea of this is it it's able to store a stockpile of energy. And if I go to, if I follow this all the way down here, we get to these destabilizers, and these will increase the amount of power used per shot, and this makes it so that the laser will actually outpace the pumping, right? So it will drain its energy reserve faster than what these can pump at, which is okay because, you know, it stockpiles a fair bit, so it has that bursty potential. Then over here you have these frequency doublers. These add armor penetrating value to the laser, which makes it able to, you know, do its full damage potential. So it's got 12 doublers, 4 destabilizers. There's, depending on what you're trying to shoot down, there's an efficient point. Like missiles have a certain amount of armor on them. You know, cram shells have a certain amount of armor on them. And so when you figure out, like I might have too much frequency doublers for just what this is for lambs, but what we saw was pretty good. It was able to what looks like one-shot cram shells, and that's quite nice. But yeah, you can see it recharges at about 1500 per second, and it uses 1890, so it's just slightly over what it generates, and it will, once it's burnt up its energy reserve, it will sustain at that pump level. So, and this goes pretty much all along the whole keel. Actually, when I installed this, I completely, let's bring my ship out of the water. I added this whole section to the as a keel, because before the keel was just right out. There was nothing here, right? But then I added these 2 blocks down so that I could have the laser go all the length along most of the ship to get this laser system installed. And as we can see, it worked pretty well. It doesn't have a very high rate of fire, which will prevent it from shooting down a large swarm of missiles. It can get overwhelmed, but this is kind of a ship that I have in mind to run with other ships like it or in other roles. So then that should be okay. Either way, I'll call it for there. Take care.